Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today, we're doing something I used to do a lot, but we haven't done in a while. We're doing a Q&A. So, I am, oh my gosh. We're not just doing any Q&A, we are doing a wine Q&A. I have a nice hefty pour of white. I know, who is she? But the extreme Texas heat has done something to me, and white wine just is way more appetizing in the summer. So, I posted an anonymous question box on my Instagram story. We got some questions, and we're just gonna skirt through them. I did tell them this was a tipsy Q&A, so make sure this is fun. If these aren't great questions, don't blame me, okay? Well, let's get started. First one I open is a sweet compliment. You are gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Tips for transitioning to mindfully eating from tracking. Okay, so this isn't a fun one, but we gotta get tipsy first anyways. So, y'all know I don't track my macros, but I don't call it intuitive eating because I don't just eat whatever, right? I use the knowledge that I have from tracking to help me make decisions, so I know I'm still fueling my body adequately. There are so many ways that you can do it, Melissa, and I actually did a podcast about this that I'll link in the description, but for me, it was just kind of like a cold turkey type of deal. I've tracked for so long, I was like, I just don't need to do this. Like, it kind of just feels like going through the motions, waste of time type of deal. But I would say you can either just go cold turkey, which a lot of people, it's just scary, right? But it's one of those things, like, to start anything, you just have to start if you have the knowledge. But other ways you can go about it, and kind of what I do with some clients, is eat similar meals for a while and maybe just don't weigh everything out. Start to kind of trust your intuition with that. You can also, and I do this a lot, just start with taking one day off of tracking a week and then add another and another until you're kind of confident. Another thing you can do is take maybe your last meal or two off of tracking and just really practice listening to your body. But I know for a lot of people, it's not knowing how to mindfully eat, it's just the fear. So there are kind of two buckets of people: the rip the band-aid off kind of people, not good at easing into things, or the ease into things people, you know? Do you ever feel like you have friends and people in your life but feel lonely at times, like when your family isn't around? Oh, this is a really good question, and yes. I would say not as much anymore, but I was just on a walk with one of my best friends, Kara, and we were talking about this, just that a big reason I feel the most at home in Austin that I have out of everywhere I've lived isn't because of Austin itself, it's the people in my life. For the first time, I just have people who I know I can be fully myself and fully open up to, but also that I know I can set boundaries with, and I know they will respect my boundaries. They're very much my people, but I also know what it's like to be in a room full of people and feel very lonely. And I don't know if the person asking this question maybe has just moved out of the house, and that's always really hard. Like, I know for myself, it was early since I went to boarding school, but a lot of friends and stuff that I had in college, it's really, really hard because your family has been that safe space for you. Like, they've seen you through everything, you know they're gonna love you regardless, and I think it's hard to feel that with friends, especially friends that you've just met, and it's hard to find those really few friends that you feel you can be that way with. I know Melissa, who a lot of you guys know, my business partner, best friend, roommate for a long time, was really the first friend I ever had that I felt so safe around. What that feels like, and I think the couple solutions are, one, feeling really at home with yourself, which takes a lot of work. A lot of us are really scared to sit with our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions, and it's really hard to be alone. And then the other thing is just truly being yourself, because that was what helped. I can blame the people around me all that I want for me not having super close friendships. It's not anyone else's fault, but because I wasn't truly myself, I never felt like I was fully loved or accepted, right? Because even though Lexi was loved and accepted and they did really, really like me, I never allowed myself to be vulnerable, and I kind of always was just trying to be what I thought other people wanted. What's your favorite food? I feel like I'm known for my pancakes. Love pancakes, love sweet potato fries, love tacos. Those are just my top 3. Sweet things, it would be like a warm chocolate chip cookie with ice cream, like a Pizookie. Craziest pickup line that worked? No pickup line has ever worked. Interesting fact, every boyfriend I've had, or like not even serious boyfriend relationship, they've been more of like a friend first. Like it was a very gradual thing. It wasn't like a, hey, you're cute, or like, hey, want to go on a date? Those never work out for me. Favorite thing about fall? They don't have it for long here in Texas, but it's just the crisp air and the leaves. It's like the feeling and the ambiance, you know? Halloween's okay. That's not my favorite holiday. I like Thanksgiving more, but I just love the weather outside. I grew up in the Midwest. We did all of the fall things. The apple orchards. How to overcome guilt about missing workouts due to being busy or having other life priorities for the moment. Well, I think you answered your own question. What is there to feel guilty about? I think it's so easy to forget that all this health and fitness stuff is a way of prioritizing yourself, right? And it's supposed to be a piece of your life that makes your life better. It needs to be prioritized just like other things, right? So if prioritizing you and what is going to serve you best is prioritizing other things in your life and taking more rest days, that is nothing to feel guilty about. So I think it's changing your language around the situation from like I'm being bad for missing my workouts or whatever to I am prioritizing what is really important for me. Now, if you're just skipping workouts because you're being lazy and you're not prioritizing yourself and your health, that is a different thing, right? But I will say, like, try to get some movement in, like go on walks, like doing something is better than nothing. But it's so easy to think that fitness is like a strict regimen when in reality it's something that's supposed to make us feel better and enhance our lives. And there are going to be phases in our lives where other things just need to be. There are a lot of things in my life, for example, that go above like me getting my workouts in. But it is really important to me. So getting my workouts in goes above other things, right? It's just like any priority. Feet size. People are so weird. The tattoo on the back of my ankle. So, you definitely, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's right there. It's a sun and a moon and a star, and I'm the sun. And I got that tattoo with my friend Kylie, who was my lash artist back in San Diego, and became a really close friend, and then Melissa, and we all got it together. So one of us is the sun, the moon, and the star. So I'm the sun. It's kind of based on like our aura and energy. Melissa's the star and Kylie is the moon. How to not binge eat, constantly thinking about food and losing weight. How to eat intuitively without gaining weight. That's like 5 questions in one. What I will say for this person is you should not be considering intuitive eating if you are struggling with these things. So a lot of constantly thinking about food, for example, is because you're restricting yourself of certain things. Like mentally, like I can't have this, that, or the other. Your body is restricted, aka you're not eating enough. So I mean, the solution is kind of obvious there. And the binge eating, I'm guessing, is happening because you are restricting your body, right? Like if your body needs food, it's going to make you give it food at some point. And if you are mentally restricting yourself at some point, you're just gonna wanna eat everything, right? So in order to find food freedom, you need to stop trying to control your body. Like intuitively eat without gaining weight. Those things, like yes, you can, obviously I'm intuitively eating without gaining weight, but you're not gonna be able to step into true food freedom if you're trying to control your food and control your body, right? Because what is freedom? Not being controlled, right? So I think that's just important to remember. Didn't mean to go on a tangent. Who was the last person you texted? So I have a text from my like friends group chat there's like 4 girls in there. But the last person I actually texted back was Kara, because we just went on a walk and she texted me that she was here. And I said, I'm coming. Would you ever go back to playing hockey? If you guys didn't know, I played ice hockey for years and years and years, up until college. I actually, like, at the national level, like, it was my thing. I mean, I would love to, like, skate or play, like, pickup hockey, but no. 1, I don't want to buy all the equipment. 2, I don't really, like, have that strong of a desire to, and I don't really know where I would. But I think it's fun. I'd probably be so bad now. I know how to skate very well, but I don't, like, stick handling and shooting and all that stuff would be hard. Who was the last dude you texted? Why are you guys so curious about who I'm texting? It's either Will or Chase. Both of whom are friends. Okay. Will. Yeah, Will. So, I did want to address this. I was kind of hoping someone asked. And I think it was like a couple weeks ago I did a question box, and I literally got so many questions asking if I was dating Will. Guys, I'm pretty sure it was over a year ago. I did another Q&A, and I got asked a bunch, and it was like when we broken up, and like we've stayed broken up. He obviously moved to Austin, but we had a lot of time apart. Like, I don't think he moved until like 6 or 7 months after we broke up. So we're very able to be friends, but there's nothing going on there. He's actually competing this weekend, which is why I was texting him. He's keeping me updated. Why are you no longer working with Buff Bunny? Please tell. I've opened a couple of those, which I was gonna answer. I wasn't avoiding the question. There's literally no tea. No tea. So I worked with Buff Bunny for like 4 or 5 years in different capacities, commission and more clothes, like what that looked like. But my contract with them would renew, I think it was quarterly or semi-annually or something, and the terms would always be slightly different just based off of their needs, my needs, etc. The time when I went to renew my contract, I think there were a few things. So on my end, there's just a lot of requirements. Like, think about it. People are like influencers, right? And like, that's their full-time thing. It's not mine. And so a lot of the requirements and stuff like that, it's just very hard for me to meet. Like getting X number of like content, right? And like having it be quality content I like enjoy putting out and I'm proud to put out, whatever. Like it just wasn't there. And they also have a lot of like very big influencers and like celebrities and stuff with them now. So my contract was just gonna look different. And I was like, I'm not gonna exclusively wear Buff Bunny if I'm only getting like a couple pieces and not getting compensated. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So you just have to think about it. I think from my end, as someone who does business, it didn't make sense. And from their end, it didn't make sense to be paying me and giving me pieces and all that. So it's like a very mutual thing. And I'm still on like a get, like they still will send me a few things per launch. I'm just not on a contract with them. So I can like wear other things, which I wasn't allowed to before. And that, you know, so like literally nothing bad happened. They're my favorite clothing company ever. And I will buy things from every launch. What's something you have zero tolerance for? Off the top of my head, I would say lying, but then I'm like, I've forgiven people who have lied. I think we all have lied. But that is something, like in a relationship or a friendship, if someone lies, like that is something I will not deal with. See, the fact I have to think about this is my issue. I'm like way too much of an empathetic person. Whenever someone, and this is a good tip, more people need more of this, but I have too much of it. When people act a certain way or do something that like upsets you or do something bad, rather than just being like, they're wrong, I don't like you, whatever, they acted that way because of something that's like happened to them, right? And that doesn't make it right, but I always am like, why did they act that way? I understand. And it is bad. It gets me in trouble. But But that actually kind of hit the nail on the head for me. I will not tolerate people who, I wouldn't call it self-centered. Something that really pisses me off is people who have like a victim mentality. Like everything is happening to them. Their life is so awful, nothing is their fault, everything's everyone else's problem. I just cannot. That's all we're gonna say. I cannot. I'm like, you realize if everything's everyone else's fault, what's the common denominator? That's not to negate the fact that like sometimes really hard stuff happens. And it's hard, but I can't stand people who just aren't go-getters, man. How long do you want to stay in Austin? Would you buy a house there? So, I honestly don't think this will be my forever place. Would I buy a house here? Yes, as a rental property. But I don't see myself like settling down here. I honestly just need more nature. And that's one thing I love about Austin is like there's a great balance of like city and nature and or like water and hikes and whatever. But a lot of times it's too hot to go do that stuff. And I would really like to be by the ocean, not the Pacific Ocean though. I want to be by the Atlantic Ocean because it's 25,000 times better. Or like by my family, right? So by the mountains, but definitely more so leaning towards the ocean. I do see myself being here for a couple more years though, just because, like I said, I feel more at home here than I have anywhere else. And like all my people are here, but I'm sure a part of growing and whatever will be moving to different places. You never know who you're gonna meet, and I can work from anywhere, so I'm like, I could go anywhere. But yeah, I'd say like this lease I think ends in March, and I'll probably stay another year. Would you rather sit next to someone who's vaping or smoking a cigarette? This has been asked in like 3 of my question boxes and I never answer it, because what a weird question. But vaping, because cigarettes smell. Vaping kind of has that like weird, if people have like scented ones though, I don't like those. Have you ever thought about dyeing your hair darker? I'm super blonde like you, but thinking of giving my hair a break and going darker. No, I really only ever thought about going blonder. But don't worry. My hair is naturally pretty blonde. If you look at my roots, it like looks darker in contrast, but obviously like that hasn't had any like sun or anything like that. But I was like dirty blonde or strawberry blonde. Like obviously my hair kind of like changed as I grew up, but I've always been pretty blonde. So I do like partial highlights every time I go. It's nothing crazy. And I'm a blonde gal at heart. Best seamless underwear to wear with leggings and shorts. I don't wear underwear with my leggings or like workout shorts. I know Buff Bunny has some that I really like. I've taken like progress pictures in those. And I wear them with like jeans and stuff, but I go commando, judge me. Random question. They are both from Michigan. Different parts, but both from Michigan. How do you feel about foot fetishes? I mean, you can't blame someone for having a fetish. I feel like they just happen. But you don't need to go ask people for pictures of their feet. Like, just keep it to yourself. I'm sure there's like foot fetish groups and stuff you can join, but I don't want to be a part of it. So stop asking me for feet pics. Okay, we're gonna answer one more. What's your morning routine? I have posted a YouTube video on that. The sound was messed up in one part. I was not happy about that. Am I talking to anyone? That's a good last one. It's kind of juicy. No, not really. No one person in particular. So we'll say that. I'm like very picky. Very, very picky. So no, but I'm very open to it. I've had like over a year of being pretty single. And like I've like dated, but no one super consistently. I honestly am just really loving being in a new city, being with my friends. Like I said, I have like the best friendships. I have been having so much work. The couple people I've tried to date, I'm like, I just don't have time for you. Like, you know when someone's like a pain in the ass because they want to take up your time, and I'm like, that's not how a relationship is supposed to be, and it's not your problem, it is mine. But like when you don't have like feelings for someone because you haven't gotten to know them like that well, it's just hard to build a relationship. So anyways, very open to it, but that's where we're gonna end this vlog. If you guys like these videos, comment below. You can drop questions and I'll just like answer them throughout my next videos. But please don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe so you don't miss any more videos. Also hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. But I feel like a loser because I didn't finish this, so. Who chose wine? Apparently I do. That's not a good idea. I'll see you in the next video.